And now it's time to sip the coffee and spill the tea on Talking with 3D Live. Here's your host, Derrick Dixon.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of Talking with 3D Live. I'm your host, Derrick Dixon, and this is where we always sip the coffee and spill the tea. Listen, before we even get started, do me a big favor. Hit the subscribe button, click it, love it, share it, do all those things. Make sure that everybody is tuned in to Talking with 3D. We're here every Monday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So once again, click that subscribe button. Don't forget, we have past episodes also that you can go back and watch. Because you know what? This is an iRose Film production. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. I have one of my good friends here, Alicia Hill.
Thank you.
Alicia Hill is here. Thank you so much, Alicia. Because you know I'm going to say it about 3 different ways.
It's all right. You can have it your way. You can have it your way.
I'm going to have it my way. I'll just call you Miss Hill.
Oh, okay.
That'd be even easier.
Yeah.
But thank you. I am so glad for you to come and sit in on Talking with 3D and being here with me. And we have so much. We have so much in common. We have so much to talk about.
Okay.
And I'm just excited for everyone to hear your story.
Yes.
And it's so important because there's so many different factors.
Yes.
That, especially women, that women go through, you know, our Black and brown women go through, and how strong that you have been and continue to be.
Yes.
There's so many questions that I have for you. So I just want to just dive into it. I want to tell everybody a little bit about you.
Okay.
So Ms. Hill, she's a devoted mother and entrepreneur. She's an IT professional based in Baltimore, Maryland, and raising 3 children, the oldest on the autism spectrum.
Yes.
She's also a business. She has a business. It's Burney Braid Out. It's a service that helps remove braids.
Yes, and weaves.
And weaves. Yes. I can't wait to talk about that. And then you also talked about, you know, we're going to be talking about domestic violence. We're also going to be talking about just everything that you've been through as a woman.
Okay.
And raising your family and everything. Yes. So again, it's you know what? It's real talk for real people, and that's what we do here on Talking with 3D.
You're going to make me cry, but it's okay.
Hey, we got the tissues. We're going to be ready for you. So first off, I just want to talk about what we have in common is raising a child on the autism spectrum.
Yes.
And just leaving April being, you know, Autism Awareness Month.
Yes.
We caught up with each other.
Yes.
We wanted to talk about this. How old is your son?
He's 13.
He's 13.
Yes.
My son, 24.
Okay.
So there's so much that, you know, you would still have to experience to go through because he's just entering into his teenage years.
Oh, yeah.
So when was the first time that you found out that your son was autistic?
At the age of 2. We went to his pediatrician, and she said he showed signs. And from there, we went to Kennedy Krieger, and they are the ones that diagnosed him with autism. But I was in denial because I first found out from the daycare provider. Yeah. And I was just like, ain't nothing wrong with my child.
Right.
And she just kept telling me every day, no, it is. And then one day, he used to talk say little words. And then at the age of 2, stop talking.
Wow.
No communication. If he wanted something, it was a point. If he wanted something, he make noise. And then by me being the only one that understands him, a lot of people used to say, well, Alicia, how you know what he wants? He's my child.
Yeah.
I get him.
Yeah.
He might not talk, but I know what he wants.
Yeah.
And he didn't start talking until 4. Potty training was hard. He went to elementary school at the age of 3 because they had a program. And from there, it's always something different with him.
Yeah. You said something so profound because when people would ask or say something to my son, Cortez, and they were like, what is he saying? And then I would interpret what he said. I was the interpreter. And they were always like, how do you know what he's saying?
Because they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, well, how did you know?
How did you know? And you just know because, again, like you say, that's your child.
Yes.
You know what they want, how they're feeling, what to take out of the situation at that time because, you know, how to take them out of a situation because you know it may be a trigger.
Yes.
And we have to act quick and we have to know how to interfere
Yeah.
before they do go through their triggers.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
And you say you went through the denial stage.
I did.
I adopted my son. So me not even be, his blood.
Yes.
I went through the denial stage because I was like, am I feeding him wrong? Am I,
Yes.
what am I doing? Do I have him around the wrong people? What am I doing in order for this child to be autistic?
Yes.
Because I didn't know anything about autism.
Me neither.
So what was your denial process? Today's episode of Talking with 3D Live is brought to you by iRose Films. iRose Films photo booth will capture every special event, from birthday parties, weddings, baby showers. They also specialize in 360 booths, also videography. So please make sure that anytime that you have a special event, contact iRose Films, irosefilms.com.
That someone else told me. She, like I said, she was a daycare provider. She's been watching kids for over 20 years. And she just kept telling me it's signs. And I'm like, no. I'm like, she was like, he's not playing with the kids. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, he looks off into space. He doesn't eat. And that became another thing. People used to say, oh, you're not feeding your child. No, they eat, but they're very picky eaters, and he eats whatever he wants to eat. If he says in the morning that he wanted chicken, what Alicia gonna do?
It's gonna be chicken.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be chicken. It's gonna be chicken, hot dogs, pizza for breakfast. It's gonna be chicken, hot dogs, pizza for lunch.
And dinner.
And for dinner. And you're right, because people will judge us and say, how dare you feed your child a hot dog at 7 o'clock in the morning? But they're eating.
That's the main thing.
And that's how I thought, as I saw it too. That's what I had to learn.
Yes.
Instead of forcing them the tradition of what breakfast
Yes.
was supposed to mean, what lunch was supposed to mean, what dinner was supposed to mean.
Yeah.
It changed everything.
And I tried new things. They don't like change.
No.
You can't change up a routine that they already got going on.
Right.
How dare me?
Exactly.
It's something I can do. I feed them.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
I would tell people I would stock up my refrigerator, my freezer with pizzas.
Yes.
And we would eat pizzas for a whole month. And then I pop the pizza in, put the pizza on the table, and I don't want this. I want hot dogs.
Yep.
And it became hot dogs for a whole month.
Yep. I walk away for an hour.
Yeah.
It's still there. They come back.
Yeah.
It's cold. You want me to warm it up? No, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. So 13. So he's in middle school?
Yes, 7th grade.
7th grade.
Yes.
How is that process for you? Do you have the services that you need for your son?
So he does have an IEP. However, I do hear a lot of people that have other children that's on the spectrum. They were saying that, oh, you can go through the state and get services, or he can get free therapy sessions, or he can get SSI and things like that. Not me. I went to Social Security maybe at the age he was 4, and they denied me. And a lot of people say, oh, go back. They always deny people the first time. Okay, I'm going to listen. So I went back, denied again. So the second time I was with my mom, and she's not as timid as me. So she going to speak up. So she said, well, why she can't get it? How come all these other people can get everything else? And they said, ma'am, her income.
Oh, wow.
It's what they see on paper.
Okay.
But if you check my account, that's not what you see.
Right.
Just because I bring home something, I got bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was going through. So I still don't get any services. The only thing he has is just the IEP.
And even through the school system, they don't fill out anything to say that these are the services that your son needs.
I don't really listen to them because they're just writing down anything.
Okay.
I've seen that with my own child since elementary school.
Okay.
They're writing down the needs that he needs to meet based off whatever quota that they have to go.
Okay.
I've seen that. If I question them about their goals, and they be, oh no, he's wonderful. How's he wonderful? But then on paper, you're saying that he's on a 2nd grade reading level.
Right.
So something's not adding up, but you're telling me he's 80% here. I don't believe it.
We're going to have to get you connected with the right people, because your son is going to need services once he ages out of school.
Yes.
And then he wants to try to get on his own,
Yes.
or, whatever that may look like.
Yes.
We have to do this now. We have to act fast. So anyone that can help us get services from Ms. Hill, we need to get you services right now, because it's very, very important. And we don't want to wait until it's too late.
Yes.
So that's very important. I don't want to change the subject or get off gears, but there's so many things that I want to talk about that's very important. You talked about going through domestic violence, especially while pregnant, and raising your first child, going through domestic violence. How is it? Because I'm always wondering a woman's mindset that goes through, first of all, going through domestic violence at all.
Yes.
But going through domestic violence while you're pregnant, what makes you stay?
I think that was not the last straw. So he was my first child. And in my mind, I'm going to be in this home and I'm going to be with the father and I want my child there. So the hit had already came before the pregnancy. And I still stayed because out of fear, this person told me that, oh, I'll kill you. Oh, I'll do this to you, hitting me. Like, I had bruises. And it wasn't until after maybe like my second month being pregnant, I went to the cops. And I'll never forget, I rode there and I seen my mother. I'm going down Old Court Road. My mother's coming up Old Court Road and she spun that car around and she said, well, where he hit you at? And I said, well, how did you know? And she said, because he called her and said, I ain't put my hands on her. But by the time the cops got back, he was gone. Eventually they got a hold of him and they arrested him. And I had a choice. I could have had an abortion. I just didn't want it.
Right.
I never had one prior at that time. And I wouldn't even know the steps at the time to take an abortion. So I was just like, yeah, no one know I'm pregnant. I hide every pregnancy that I ever had.
Really? And why is that?
I didn't want to hear the negativity.
From your peers, from your family?
Peers, family, even though they didn't know what I was going through. I knew what I was going through. And I didn't want nobody to be ashamed of me and my family, because when I got pregnant, I was 19.
Okay.
And I feel like I probably let my family down, like, oh, she's a teenager. She got this, she got this job now, she's working, why she do that? So I chose not to tell anyone. My parents did not know I was pregnant with my first child until I was 8 months pregnant.
Really?
I was not showing at all. And I was around my mom all the time. She never even knew.
And any friends?
Oh, yeah, my friends, the ones that I told, but besides that,
they didn't know?
Nope, I hid her so good.
And you just hid it from peer, just
even work.
Didn't want to upset people?
Yeah, even from work.
So
when it was time to go on maternity leave, they like, well, when was she pregnant?
Right.
So well.
Right.
So well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Do you think that came from something within?
Maybe, but I'm not really for sure. I feel like I'm always a private person. And I just didn't want to hear anybody.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I do. So on my mom's side, I have an older sister and a younger brother. And then on my dad's side, I'm the oldest and I have 3 younger siblings.
So going through domestic violence, you're going through domestic violence, you're pregnant, you're raising your first child and everything. When do you say enough's enough?
Oh, after I start clucking him back inside his head. And then he was into drugs, and I was like, I don't want my child around this. And I called my best friend, and she came over to my apartment, and we packed up everything. And I left. While you out going selling drugs, I'm going to leave out here. And I went to my mother's house. And before I know it, like an hour later, banging on my mother's door, trying to get into my mother's house. And by that time, my dad came up there. At the time, my stepmom came up there. I mean, everybody was at the house. And they told him to go. And ever since then,
So there's so many women that are watching right now because the fact that they go through the domestic violence, they go through saying, I've had enough, leave, and then turn around and go back. Did you ever have that in your mind thinking, I'll give him one more chance, even after packing him up?
No, because I gave him many chances before that.
You did?
Prior to me even being pregnant.
And why? Why give him more chances? What could a man say to you after bruising you, after putting you through so much? what can a man say to you? Because that's what I'm so interested in knowing that. What can a man say to you to say, okay, let's try again?
Well, looking back at it now, the only thing he had to say was, I'm sorry.
Really?
I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Do it again. My bad. I did it out of anger.
Did you blame yourself saying,
Well,
what did I do to make him angry? What did I do to make him do this?
The first time, yes. And then after that, I didn't blame myself. I'm just like, you're broken. But I knew the background that he came from. He didn't have his mom growing up. His dad was in the home with him, but didn't really care what he do. Family, he just not there yet. And even to this day, people ask me, well, do he have a relationship with my son? No. Do I call him? And I'm like, yeah. I call him like, hey, you want to spend time with your child? Well, I'm working right now. And his name in my phone, because I'm not going to say his real name.
Okay.
But his name in my phone is Tommy, because he always say he got to go to work. Tommy, where you work at?
Where do you work at?
Where you work at, Tommy?
Where is it? Yeah. So you have no relationship at this time?
Just child support.
Just child support.
Just child support. Even my son, he knows who his biological father is, but he does not call him dad. He calls him by his first name. He calls his stepfather his dad.
It's just, I'm sitting here trying to think of, the reasoning and everything of going through domestic violence. And then being a survivor, because you become a survivor.
Yes.
What do you tell women now? What do you tell women? Do you tell them to stay in there to make it work? Do you tell them you have to listen to the first signs?
Oh yeah. I told my best friend, because years later, she started going through the same thing. And I said, what you there for? I said, you was there with me. You know what I went through. But then talking to her, I'm just trying to stay here for my family. She wanted to make it work. It ain't gonna never work.
Yeah.
Leave.
Wow.
Leave the first time.
Leave the first time.
Yeah.
Do you know of any other family members maybe on his side or your side that went through domestic violence?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you saw?
No, not something that I saw. So maybe that could be another thing why I didn't say anything, because I never seen it.
And you never saw it?
Yeah.
Wow. So, you wrote something and I thought it was very interesting. You said, even, raising your children now, even though that you have a husband and he is present, active in your kid's life, you're the weight of providing for the family. Everything falls on you.
Yes.
So let me ask you this, because I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Or can you explain that? And then I'll ask you my question.
So a lot of people ask, that's another thing. A lot of people don't even know that I'm married. I don't know why. I mean, I had a wedding, but a lot of people don't even know that I'm legally married. We've been through things, and the reason why I probably presented it that way is because financially, the mortgage is on me. If he doesn't have it, in my mind, I think like he probably say, well, if I don't have it, I know she won't have it. We've been through that before. Has he ever paid bills? Absolutely, because I don't want to discredit and say, oh, he just didn't pay anything and he just, we still married. That's not true. He has paid bills, but it's not consistently.
It's not consistent.
Yeah.
So, and we're not discrediting your husband.
Right.
Your present husband. We're not going to discredit him. Do you feel in any way that that is a form of abuse? Have you ever felt like that? And again, we're not saying that he has done this purposely, but have you felt like that? Because in my mind, when I heard that, I thought it's just another form. But again, he could be a great person, a great husband, and raises the kids and things like that. Do you feel like that? Or has anyone ever said that to you?
Not in that way, but my mom always used to say to me, Alicia, he's a great father. He's just not a good husband. Because...
So see, that's what I'm thinking. What makes you stay? Not to break up your marriage. That's not what we do here on Talking with 3D. So, but again, This is just the mindset of a woman. What makes you tell your mom he is a great husband?
No, I never told her that. Never told her that. We filed for divorce twice.
Wow. Over finances?
No, infidelity.
Girl, you... Really?
I filed the first time. I gave him the papers, and he said, we're not getting no divorce. He took the papers and left out the house. The second time we went down there together, we filed. He paid for it. We just didn't go to court.
I just had to sit silent just for a second. So, again, let me ask you this. Have you ever took self-care for yourself? Therapy, talking seriously to someone to find out, why do I feel like I have to go through this?
No. I took couples therapy, but it didn't work because it can't work when two people are lying. And I'm, like I said, two people, which means me and him.
Right.
Because if I'm asking you a question and I got a feeling that I know that you're lying, I'm going to lie right back to you. So if you ask me, if I'm saying, hey.
For it's tit for tat.
Yeah. And then eventually everything that I'm feeling, it comes out to be true.
It comes out to be true. We got to get you services for your son. We got to get you some therapy. We got so much work to do here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm reading your bio. You know, you've experienced evictions. You've gone through getting the cars repossessed, financial instability. I mean, where are you at now?
I'm good now. Financially wise, I'm good. Like I said, I started a business. It's growing. But the repossession came before I even met my husband. The repossession came, and I'm mad about that too. Still to this day, I filled my gas tank up,
and they came
and took my car.
Went to sleep,
woke up,
and gone.
Car gone.
Because they'll come get the car in the middle of the night.
The crazy thing is, I only made one payment on that car, and I had the whole car for a year.
You made one payment on the car, had the car for a whole year, and they finally said, let's go get this car.
Yeah, and then my mom, like I said, I called my mom for everything.
Right.
And she called Tower Federal Bank, and she said, well, how did they find her car anyway? They said they put a camera hit out on the antennas on the cars now. The newer cars, they put antennas on it, and it sends like a satellite to tell them exactly where your car at.
So they put, okay, say it again. So
like the new cars, you know how we don't have the long antennas anymore? It's like a little triangle, little thing on the top of the car. They said they sent a camera hit to it from the satellites, and they said that's how they found my car. Because my car was not where the car was registered at. And my mom said, well, what type of stuff is that?
So if y'all have not paid your car note and you got the antenna on your car that's just pointing stuff, they're going to put a satellite on it. They're going to get your car. I got proof right here. Regardless of how long it takes, they're going to come get that car.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, because during that time, I had lost my job. And facing eviction. And then the crazy thing is, when I was facing eviction, I was able to get another apartment on... Not on child support. What's the unemployment?
Unemployment.
Yeah, and at that time, I was bringing home $400 a week on unemployment, and I was able to go get a little apartment up in Owens Mills, just me and my little child.
You and your child.
Yeah, and I knew I couldn't afford it. Yeah, I ain't had no job. Yeah, got evicted like 5 months later. I think I only paid 2 months rent there.
Okay,
but the pipes had bursted, so that's how I was able to stay a little bit longer.
So we get a new apartment, we get a new car and everything. But do you feel like, okay, I'm the one at fault. I didn't pay for this car for a whole year. And that's because of the fact that you lost your job then and you couldn't pay for the car.
Correct.
Did you ever think, let me give this car back?
No, I need to get it around.
Get around and do what?
Go to Walmart and stuff. Shoot, I had things to do. I was outside. I mean, I'm not saying I was a hoe, but I was out there. I was. I had to get around.
You had to get around.
I did.
And you know people are going to be watching this.
I know.
And
but it's the truth.
Put in all type of comments, because I want y'all to leave some comments for this show. They're going to be leaving all kind of comments like, what were you thinking? So let's fast forward, because I don't want this stigma on you to be like, what is wrong with this woman? where are we at today?
Today, I'm good. Like I said, I got a house. I'll be finished my degree this year in information technology.
Okay.
Started a business. Financially wise, I'm good. I do make over 6 figures. And
Okay.
anytime somebody ever asks me, well, Alicia, what do you bring to the table? Now I'm like, I am the table.
You are the table.
I am the table.
I am the table. And I like that. I am the table. So you have turned it around 360.
Yes.
And just like, talking about the domestic violence, present situations, when was enough?
For the domestic violence part?
For just saying, you know what, I cannot live with evictions, repossessions.
I filed bankruptcy.
Okay.
I did that in 2015. And it wiped my sleep clean. Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't have anything else on there.
Okay. So you started fresh. Starting fresh though, what makes you say, I'm not going to get this car repossessed. I'm not going to be evicted anymore?
I had more than one kid at that time.
Okay.
So I knew I had to stop playing around. And I was getting older. So me filing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and me starting over, I'm like, all right, I know I can't get things right away. I got to start rebuilding. So the first thing I did was get a credit card, start paying on that. And then I knew I didn't want to be in my apartment anymore where I was at the time. So I started saving a little bit. But then I'm like, I got kids. I'm going to use my tax money and I'm going to put a down payment on my house. So I bought a house during COVID. And from there, just kept doing what I needed to do. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, when I tell people, when we complain about things, we ain't got nothing to complain about. But everybody has a story.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody has a story. So now you have a business.
Yes.
And you've getting your degree. You have a business.
Yes.
Which I think is very unique. I've never heard of this type of business. So the name of your business is?
Burney Braid Out.
Burney Braid Out.
Yes.
Never heard of this type of service. And I kept reading, Burney Braid Out. So you have clients that already have braids.
Yes.
They come to you to do what?
I take them out. I detangle and wash and blow dry.
And they pay for, because my son has braids.
Yes.
And they would charge me extra, take out the braids, wash his hair. So they'll come to you first.
Yes.
To get the braids, everything taken out.
Right.
And you wash it, blow dry it, and then they go and get their braids done.
Yes.
When did you think of this? Because there's so many jobs out there. I'm just like, or so many ideas. Who thinks of an idea thinking, oh, I'm going to come up with take your braids out?
I'm not even going to lie to you. I was at work and I said, I need to take my hair out. And it took me 2 days. And the second day, I'm telling my coworkers, I said, I would pay somebody to take my hair out. And they laughing at me. They was like, Alicia, ain't nobody going to pay to take your braids out. And I said, shoot, watch me. So no lie, that same week, and it was in August, that same week, I started calling around to different salon suites. And then I ended up going to one. And I'm telling the lady, because she was like, are you licensed? And I'm like, I'm natural. She was like, well, what you going to be doing? And I told her, she said, up, let's go. She said, let me go show you around. She said, because I never heard that before.
Yeah.
She said, you know how many people cut their hair, taking their hair out? She said she didn't have never heard it before.
So I know people go through a process of 8 hours to put braids in. What's the process of taking braids out?
2.5.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Yep.
And you take it out, blow dry it, wash it, and go from there.
Yep.
Wow.
I service children, men and women.
And how, again, starting this service and everything, how do you get the word out that people know, oh, there's this braid out service that I can go to?
Instagram. I promote it on Instagram. I also have flyers that I printed out, and I went to different beauty supply stores, and I talked to the owners, and I asked them, can I put the flyer up? I also went to different braiding shops and spoke to them and asked them, could they share the service as well?
Is there any other services that you know of out there like this?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually starting to see a lot of women doing it now in Maryland, D.C. It's in Atlanta as well. My next stop, I do want to go to North Carolina, and I want to do it there because I don't see it in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew, I'm telling you. Listen, we're going to have to wrap some things up here, but I want to go back and talk about your son real quick because I think it's just so important that we do get you services for yourself and for your son.
Yes.
First off, do you have a core group for yourself, support system for you?
Just family.
Just family. Because the fact that, and the reason I'm saying this because now your son has to go to the next level. He's going to be going into adulthood. You definitely need to make sure that you take care of your son.
Yes.
And because if you're not here, who's going to take care of him? So we have to definitely make sure that we get you some services. And I do have a nonprofit, the 3D Foundation, so we're going to make sure that I check some things out so I can pass them on to you. Because you should not be out here alone.
Yes.
Because family is wonderful, but family is not going to, a lot of times, not going to love your son the way that you love your son.
Right.
So I'm going to encourage you to really do that. I had an incident just the other day. I had someone here that I was about to interview, and they felt very uncomfortable being around my son, and they got up and they left. It's the hardest thing because I feel like I'm always in protection mode with my son. Whatever, regardless of what, I don't want people to say certain things to him because I allow my son to be him. I don't want him to stop being him. That's what makes him unique.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure that you are good.
Yes.
You've been through a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You've been through a lot. And we need to make sure that we take care of us first. Because if we can't take care of us, how are we going to take care of others?
Correct.
So I really want to, keep checking. And keep in contact with each other so we know where we're at. Make sure that this good present husband goes out there and starts supporting you as well. So we're going to make sure that gets done too. All right?
Yes.
So there's just so much more that I want to talk about, I want to say, but we have to go. And I appreciate you stopping by and talking with me.
Thank you.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, again, if you are in any type of domestic violence situation, there's always so much help out there. Call the numbers. I don't have them offhand. 911 is always the first and best one to call, but get help. Do not stay in it. This is for men. This is for women. Also, caring for an autistic child. Make sure that you get all the services that you need for your child, but also for yourself. So please make sure that you go out, love somebody intentionally, and we will see you next time right here on Talking with 3D. Peace.